Okay, it says I'm live. Well, this is as much a test as anything, folks. I'm trying a live stream coming from my little cabin on the 15th deck of the seashore. Thought I'd try to bring you guys up to date on what happened today, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there was a little bit of both on that. I see Carol popped in. Hey, Carol. I want to give everybody a rundown. First, the embarkation procedures went pretty smoothly considering. There's Jason Kenneth. Glad y'all are here. Quality could be worse, Jason says. Yeah, I know. It's so far so good. And I did a couple Facebook live earlier, and they didn't look bad at all. So that's why I kind of wanted to try this tonight, even though there wasn't a whole lot of planning put into this. So nor am I out and about. One thing, you can't be outdoors because it's damn. And this is probably as rough as I've been on since back in the early cruising when they didn't have stabilizers. It's doing some rocking and rolling tonight, I'll tell you. But anyway, so embarkation this morning, I Ubered over from the hotel. I got here for just right about 12 o'clock, which was my scheduled time. The first thing that they did was the Uber get off, I was able to check my bag, which of course was a good thing. But then I had to walk. Oh man. It was probably down the edge of a building, probably 100 yards to the door. And I had a walker, so that was okay. But they won't let me have the scooter outside. This is one of the weaknesses of not MSC, but other cruise lines as well. So I had a pretty hefty walk. I got inside the building and was able to request a wheelchair inside, and right away they brought the wheelchair over. That person took me through all the check-in procedures. You have to be tested again. Of course, I did the test. That's to be done 40 before. I was negative on that. You had to do the PCR test here, which I did. I was fine. Went through all the check-in procedures and documentation and all that, and that was a snap. That just really was. So again, I'm in a wheelchair being pushed. I have my walker that a combination of the guy pushing me, sometimes he would push and pull it, sometimes I would, because I also had my portable oxygen unit. I had my little carry-on bag that's all my drugs. And I had my carry-on bag that's my computer and all the phone chargers and cords and all this stuff, so I can do this kind of business, cameras and all that. So I had the one hefty walk to get into the building. Then we go through, and I wore like a done building forth that this poor guy had to push my fat butt. And I got upstairs, went across the gangway to the ship, and by then it's about 20 after 12. I just went through it quickly. But the rooms weren't ready. So they parked me in a bar, which was fine. They're on the same deck we came in. I did find out they have my life Craig here, which is the first time I've seen a Craig on a cruise ship. That's sweet. I did have a couple of adult beverages because I had a couple hours to wait. Now I hadn't eaten since breakfast, so I was getting a little hungry too. But I wanted to get in the cabin to get the scooter. So finally, about 2 o'clock, they announced that you can go to your staterooms. So I sit there for a few minutes. I'm waiting to see if the guy that pushed me in on a wheelchair is coming back. No sign of him. So I flagged down one of the staff. I said, okay, guys, I need some assistance to get up to my cabin to get to the scooter. Since you guys wouldn't let me have the scooter in the terminal, I'm supposed to have wheelchair service to the room. Well, let me check on that. So about 2 minutes later, this guy said, no, they do not take you to the room. I said, well, how am I supposed to get there? Well, you have to walk. I said, I can't walk. And 30 feet, and I got to stop. And he said, well, I'm sorry, but we take you to the cabin, to the stateroom. So I got up, of course, had my portable oxygen unit going, and I walked. Thankfully, from where I was, it was about 20, 30 yards to the elevator. Took the elevator up to 15. Once I got oriented, it was probably another 30 yards from the elevator to the cabin. So it wasn't a killer, but still, that's something that these cruise lines collectively need to straighten out for folks that are mobility challenged. Because, all in all, I put in, a good, I'm not sure how far that first walk was, but it was a lot more than my body will take. So that's an issue to be discussed. Royal Caribbean was better. Once I got to the wheelchair, they took me, even with the delays, and that was even worse, the delay, because I was early. With all that slalom I had to do, they took me right to the cabin. So then I get to the cabin, to the stateroom. I didn't know how to open the door. This is keyless entry. Nobody had ever told me about that. Well, I finally just kept screwing around until I figured it out and got the door open. Then I couldn't figure out how to do the lights. So I'm in here because this is a inside cabin, which I didn't know. All I asked was for a wheelchair accessible. I didn't care, what they gave me, and I still don't. But you have to put your key card back in the light fixture to operate the lights. I didn't know that, but finally got that working. So I had the lights on the damn scooter, and there's no oxygen concentrator. So I pick up the phone and I tried dialing guest services, and it came back and said, you got the wrong number. And it just said, I'm starting to get pissed. Finally, I get all to the right person, and she says, oh my God, well, I got to find out. Let me see what's going on. I'll call you back. Okay. Well, sure enough, in about 2 or 3 minutes, I called back. She had some questions. She said, did you book this with Scooter Around? I said, yes. I have a scooter booked, and I have an oxygen concentrator booked. Well, did you just do this today? I said, no. I did months ago. On the same day I booked this cruise, I booked the scooter and the oxygen concentrator. So he said, okay, let me phone call now. I said, okay. Well, in 5 minutes, she called back and she says, I found it. We got the scooter. We got 2 oxygen concentrators for you. because they give you a backup. They did the same thing on Royal Caribbean, which was a waste of equipment to me. But anyway, she said they'll be in your room in 5 minutes, and it was. It was 5 minutes was here. So that part was. I mean, clearly there was a lot of good in the embarkation procedure because I mean, still it went quickly. Pain in the butt once you get on board to have to sit. Now, it's one thing for you can walk around and stuff, and you can go up on the pool deck if it's a nice day, or you can go to other venues, or you can go someplace and get something to eat. But because I'm sitting wherever they drop me, waiting, I don't have that freedom. So, and anybody that has mobility issues is going to be much. I talked to another fellow tonight on the scooter. He had the same issues that I had. So it's just the way they do it, and it sucks. So that part of it is bad on MSC. On the other hand, the pools and the hot tubs, which seem to always have accessibility, I never seem to do those with ramps. They're all steps. And I mean, yes, they have lifts, but that's embarrassing. I'm sorry, folks. It really is. I mean, could you see my big fat ass and I've got some staff member, I said, okay, I need you to go get a lift because you got to pick my fat butt up, put me over these 3 or 4 steps and swirl me out into the water and drop me down in the hot tub. Well, in the first place, the poor guy would get a hernia trying to lift me up. They're automatic, but still, I'd put some back in it. But from my standpoint, it would be embarrassing because there's all this action around getting my fat ass off my scooter up in the air and into the water and drop down in the hot tub or the pool or something. That's just drawing attention to my disability. I don't think the healthiest thing for mentally that they could do. So, I mean, I'm always fussed with these people about just build a little ramp, instead of steps, go up a slope. You do it a lot of other places. It's actually law now in the United States. But anyway, that was that. Now, the other question everybody's been asking me is you got to talk about food. So when I got the scooter this afternoon, I hadn't had any thing since early morning, since breakfast. So I was a little hungry, not starving, but I went to the buffet area and drove around looking at that. And they had some roast beef, looked pretty good. So I got some roast beef, some mashed taters, pretty simple stuff. A dessert. And then they had a really gorgeous looking roll, hard roll, with a pre-made sandwich with it was chicken and cheese and just a nice little grab and go kind of sandwich sort of thing. So I thought, I'll get that too. So I had, and that bread was superb. The roast beef was really good. The mashed potatoes was really good. So that was, that was a piece of cake. I was just, just a little buffet thing. I usually don't do regular food at the buffet. I do buffets in the morning for breakfast a lot. I'll do that in the morning. But anyway, so I went to dinner. I went to the main dining room. Now I do have, folks, I've got 2 specialty restaurants booked. I'm going to do the steakhouse one night. I got to make reservations. And I'm going to do sushi one night. I got to make reservations. The reservations haven't been made yet. I just haven't time yet today. So I'll get a report on 2 specialty restaurants on how that works and how they go, and how the food is. So I went to the main dining room tonight. The main dining room on an MSC ship, at least on this MSC ship, the dining room itself it's not like The Freedom of the Seas dining room was wide open space. And I showed a lot of pictures of that. This was a much more closed in kind of dining room. It was probably, pretty big, but still it had walls as opposed to open space. And I was obviously a small table of 4, and I'm by myself. So I had a little bit of a cocktail left that I brought in with me, so I didn't need to order another cocktail. But I said, I'd really like it just a Diet Coke. And she said, okay, I'll get you Diet Coke. And she said, how about some water? And I said, okay, yeah, I probably can use some water. I'm thinking she's going to bring, pour a glass of water. Hell, she brings this damn big bottle of Hannah Tuscany water. So, anyway, I had a couple glasses of that with dinner. Food wise, I had a bay scallop. Oh, wow, what bay scallops cavecchi. I don't know what cavecchi is, but I said, I know what bay scallops are. So I said, well, I'll have that. And it was scallops in kind of like a pico de gallo sort of. It's also kind of spicy, really spicy, good spicy, and a nice, bay scallops are small scallops. Probably, I want to guess 15 scallops in there in the little dish with this. I'm calling it salsa, and I'm probably calling it wrong, but that's kind of what the flavor was, that kind of taste, but really good. Then I had a shrimp cocktail, and you guys see pictures of the shrimp cocktails that I had, 3 or 4 of them, three of them, I think, on Freedom of the Sea. These suckers were about this big, 5 of them. Huge. I'm a shrimp cocktail nut, so that was fine. And then my main course, I had blackened grouper with some kind of chutney, something, salsa kind of thing. It had on a bed of rice. Again, I'm not real big on knowing the Mediterranean ways of doing things. So, folks, I'm stumbling on even to explain it. Very good. I love the grouper. I was fine. By then I'm getting a little kind of full because I'd eaten a late lunch, and then after that 5 shrimp that were that big. Hell, that was a meal for me right there. And then after the grouper, I didn't eat it. I had a couple bites of rice, but I just, fish and rice doesn't mix real well for me, but that's neither here nor there. The kind of the chutney sort of thing was just, I didn't care that, but the grouper was, and then I had after that, a Caesar salad. The European style, the order's a little different than the American style. And then for dessert was a apple raisin kind of strudely sort of a thing with like a vanilla-ish gelato on top. That was just, it was kind of to die for. It was really, quite good. So I complained about the food on day 1. Food was real good on MSC Seashore. So for those of you who've been asking about my food report, there's a starting. I'll have 6 more days of food reports on the seashore. But so far, it was really good. And we've got a few people over here and popped in this unscheduled live stream. Jason's here. Kenneth's with us from Pennsylvania. Kenneth Robin. Is it really that cold? It is supposed to be in the 30s tonight in Miami, and tomorrow morning in the 20s. There are freeze warnings out in the Everglades, talking about a 5-year event in the weather tonight. I had on, when I was up on deck 18, a shirt, long sleeve shirt, another shirt on top of that, and the jacket, and I was still cold. So yeah, it's cold and windy. And once we came out of Miami, when we sail away, I did kind of a live stream on Facebook to sail away. When I was downstairs, I was doing I did a tour of deck 6 and 7, just riding around on the scooter trying to find my way around this crazy ship, and came back to a window and said, "Oh my God, we're sailing away. We're getting ready to go past one of the ships." So I grabbed my phone and started a live stream on Facebook. Out, we passed the Norwegian ship, we passed the Symphony of the Seas, and then went on out a little bit further and goes through the breakwaters around Miami Beach. And boy, once we got out into the breakers going out, they're like rocks. Man, the surf had to be pounding into those rocks, had to be 10, 15 feet high. It was rough. Looking down on the beach as we cleared the beach, and the surf was just rolling in on Miami Beach. And it's been pretty rugged sailing out here. I mean, I'm up on deck 15, remember, so I'm up, and I'm still swaying back and forth. Down in the dining room on 6, where I had dinner, they have big porthole windows, and now this was across the dining room floor. So if you're from where I'm sitting, I'm looking out, and I can see the water line out the window, and it would roll to the point that you would be looking at all water through the whole big porthole window. You're looking down at water, and then it would go back the other way, and you'd end up looking up at the sky, and I see no water. So it's pretty good rocking and rolling. Rally's with us. Hey, good to have you with us. I heard it was in Florida. Yep, it is definitely chilly. Now, the other thing I didn't know about is it's going to be warm on the inside, and it's toasty in here. So they paid their heating bill. So Jason says, "Poor guy. I'm sure you tipped him well." Oh yeah, I was a $20 bill just to push my fat ass around. That's it's usually for a short haul it's $5. A pretty good haul it's $10, and this guy got a 20. So it was a long haul, and let me back up. So Jason says we need to take turn cruising with Chili so he doesn't have to deal with that bullshit. Yeah, well, that'd be all right. It's good to find out those things. This is the kind of thing that I can work on. I don't have a contact with MSC. I have a contact with Royal Caribbean. I mean, my report for Caribbean is going to go not to some schlepper. It's going to go right to the top. But I've already got the contact. He's going to come be on one of the shows with us too. So, but I don't have the contact with MSC yet. But I'm going to sure shall try to find one. I mean, they got to have somebody that's in charge of accessibility on for this big a cruise line. And yeah, it benefits them to listen to somebody like me because I'll at least be critical of what they're doing respectfully. It's not like I'm going to start protesting and that kind of crap. Yeah, I'm going to be honest about it. Here's what you need to fix. So, but yeah, I need to find a contact with MSC. So far, overall, though, I'm not. I've told you the bad parts today. It's a lovely ship. It's a huge ship. What I've seen so far, well, it looks pretty good. The bars have been, I've been 3 or 4 of the bars. They're excellent. The people are just lovely. I mean, they're great. Crew at dinner. Man, I must have had 8 or 9 different staff members came by to check on me while I'm having dinner to see, okay, if you want this, you want that. And then they do a job. So Carol says that's poor customer service. They should have accommodated your needs. Sorry, children. Well, yeah, it wasn't just me. That's what I said. I found another guy on his and I went on and said, "Shoot, can I talk to you for a second?" And he said, "Yeah." And I asked him, "Did you have to walk about 18 miles today?" And he said, "Yeah, a lot more than I had business walking." So they need to and this may not be MSC. I have been told that this is Port Miami rules. The scooter round told me that when I order a scooter, I try always to have the delivery in the terminal. I've had that done in Port Canaveral. I've had that done at Fort Lauderdale, where I'd actually pick up the scooter in the terminal. Then I could go through all the crap, all the check-in and stuff on the scooter. And then I've got a scooter on board the ship so I can do something in that, lull space that I've got to sit around and wait for it. So that's something that I need to work on. The other thing is the scheduling getting on the ship. I understand why it takes them so long to get the rooms ready. Believe me, and I want them to do it right. And if it takes time, it takes time. Maybe they need to schedule things a little different. Maybe not schedule people as early. Instead of start people in at 12 o'clock, maybe they need to start scheduling people in at 1 o'clock so you don't have as much dead time waiting to get into the rooms. So, all right, let's see who else is with us. Rooms card on that slot. Yeah, that's why I figured that out eventually. But remember, I'm a little on the slow side with technical issues, Jason. Always. This is not a person you should film it. If I had a lift, I would film it because there's a benefit to me filming it. But I'm talking just as overall general situation, especially somebody that is severely handicapped. I mean, maybe they really want to get in that water a lot. Maybe they don't ever have a chance to get in the water. To do that in front of everybody and they can see that they're whatever the deformity or the disability is. Yeah, it's just, I could see where a lot of people wouldn't do it. I'm glad you can be a voice for people with mobility issues. Well, yeah, Amy, somebody's got to do it. And there's not been a lot of it. That's why some of you guys that are normal, that don't have the mobility issues, you might get tired of the fact that I'm looking through those eyes now. But I'm looking through those eyes not only for me, but for a segment of the cruising community that is underrepresented. And clearly, with videos about cruise ships and stuff, I mean, just nobody talks about accessibility issues, or very few people. Everybody in the world does hardcore, this is a swimming pool, this is a hot tub, this is my steak dinner. kind of, ship tours. So I got to try to do something different. So I love Indian honey. That's Indian. That's exactly what it was. It's just not. It was. It's not. I didn't find the taste bad. There's a cruise out of Martinique on MSC. I've been stalking. Hot Air Tom's with us. Hello, Hot Air. We were blowing some hot air. Oh, the sex bombers. Hot Air Tom, all this time that you've been disappearing from us on the celebrity sweat people that you're howling around with and all those art lovers and things, we've decided the sex bombers are your fault. Nobody else to blame but Hot Air Tom. So I was on Facebook, but Chili doesn't see that. No, I didn't see that. When were you on Facebook, Hot Air? I'll make sure I see it. I had to come over when I heard Jason was here. Oh, you were on Facebook tonight. Oh, sorry. I didn't go looking, and this is a test purely to see if I could do a live stream. I did a couple of Facebook today, so I can do that. But this is the kind of thing I do my shows too. So I wanted to run a test. Plus, I wanted to share with you, the first part of the first day on MSC Seashore. Jason is looking for some more MSC reviews. Close to booking one. Well, so far, overall, yeah, there were some problems, but still, I'm liking it. And let's face it, this was a bargain for me because there was no single supplement. So, I mean, that made it for me. That made these MSC cruises dirt cheap. I like it. So groups, the ladies. Yeah, me attracting ladies. That's a joke. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up tonight. At least I know I can do a live stream, and it's gone through. It's did a spin there a couple times, but they were briefly popped back on. All in all, there again. All in all, the signal's pretty good. So that's awesome. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to try to do Cruise Amigos like normal. I don't know if Pete's doing his show tomorrow because he did one today. I tried to get on that with him, and I couldn't get the audio working. But at least the Cruise Amigos tomorrow, John and Martin and I will talk about cruising since I've done some now. Anyway, going to wrap me up for tonight. Hot Air says in the end, free laundry. Just got a bag ready. It'll be $135. Holy crap. I got to see about what the laundry situation's here. I haven't looked into that one yet, but my warm clothes, I don't have enough of them for the 2 days that I had cold weather on Freedom, and now today and tomorrow. Tomorrow we can't get away from this cold that quickly. So tomorrow's cold again. So yeah, I need to launder some long clothes too. So I don't know if I will spend $135 on washing. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with Tres Amigos, and I mean, I'll be out and stuff and just pop in with. Keep your eyes open for live streams here, live stream on Facebook. I'm able to just say, "Oh, this is pretty cool." I'll go live. And, one thing, at least, I can download the live streams from Facebook and use them. Didn't used to be able to do that. That's why I never used them before. Well, now I can download them, so that's helpful at least. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for tonight. I'm probably too tired to go out doing anything tonight, so I'll talk to everybody tomorrow. You guys have a terrific day. Stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising, and hopefully we'll all get together on the high seas one of these days. This is the old fat travel guy. Have a fabulous evening. See y'all tomorrow.